Hey YouTube, Dawson Rider here with my review of the Legendary Megazord figure review. I'm reviewing my own review. This guy's terrible! Okay, sorry. Instead of starting over, I'll make a joke about that. But in all seriousness, I am terrible. But this is a review for the Legendary Megazord figure. This is the sort of line of 5-ish inch Megazord figures that started as a Retrofire line and it just kind of bounced around into a regular Megazord line. A line of articulated, slightly stylized Megazord figures. So let's go ahead and jump into it. And I will say, I really dig this figure. I think they did a really awesome job on it. Obviously, they're inherently a bit stylized because they're skinnier, obviously, and they can do more than a bulky mech, even in the show. But the line used to be a little bit more, I hate to keep using this word because I use it a lot in these reviews, but stylized. They used to take a lot more liberties with it. They still do take some, but not quite as much as they used to. And I used to dig that, but still there's some stuff going on here. Detail-wise, I think he looks pretty solid, to be honest. He could be using a little more paint, like maybe these symbols up in here, maybe just a few odds and ends in some places, maybe the symbols down here. But for the most part, he's got it done pretty well. You got all the colors nicely done. His head sculpt and paint on there is done very well, very nicely detailed. It's not that plain at all. Got the symbol right there. If you notice down here, the legs are a bit inaccurate. In the show, they're more overall solid colors of like white and pink with a lot less black, basically. But I think the fact that they've got all the black on here actually looks pretty badass. And it kind of fits overall with the Megazord more and almost gives it a stylized look in that sense. So while in the show and like in the other Megazord toy and stuff, there's a lot less black, I think it makes it look a lot cooler, to be perfectly honest. The only thing he comes with is obviously the swords that he's got here, which aren't very badly done, actually. There's not a whole lot to them, but they're not completely gray. You got the gray piece here, which is actually a bit different than the traditional gray. And then you've got the gold here. And if you couldn't tell, you can actually peg them here on the side. So I have them holding it right now, which I can fix. But still, you can peg them on the side and store them there, and it's neat. Articulation-wise, let me zoom in a little bit, he's pretty well articulated, I have to say. He's got a 360 ball joint here for his head, and you can actually get some up and down range of movement. You got a nice hinge joint here on his arm, so you can go pretty far out and around and stuff, so that's pretty nice. And then you've got a hinge joint here, which is slightly hindered by the design of his arm here, hindering, you know, excuse me, clashing with his shoulder. So, but still pretty nice. His waist does rotate. You got a nice hinge joint here on his leg, so you can get some really nice range of movement there. And this hinge joint on his knee here actually allows for a really nice range of motion there. And his foot here also can move. So, not quite as articulated as like a Figure Art or a Super Robot Chogokin or something, but still very nicely done. And you can get some great movement on it. And if you have been following this line somewhat, you know that they used to be really strange, where they had like an arm that would be not articulated at all, and it would be completely solid, and then one articulated arm. And it was very strange. But yeah, overall, I really dig this figure. Like I said, it could be using a few more paint details, but it still does the job fine. I think that the paint on the legs makes it look cooler and give it a sort of unique look to it. And it's very well articulated for a Megazord line, or a Megazord line figure. And I really dig it. I can definitely recommend it if you like these type of figures. Definitely a really cool figure to have. I really enjoy it. The only reason I'm reviewing it on its own is because the one that released with it was the Wild Force Megazord figure, which released back in RPM, I believe, back when this line first started. So I'm not going to be double picking them up just to review it as a wave. I really hope that they start releasing some new ones, or at the very least, some of the ones we've already seen. We've seen quite a bit of them. A decent handful of Retrofires they showed us, or Megazord figures now, that we never got. So I'd like to see those at some point, if they continue this line. But so yeah, that's why he's on his own. But without rambling too much, really cool figure. Definitely recommend it. I really enjoy it. That's about it. Till next time, make sure you check out the Crazy Podcast at writersrangersandrambles.com. Till next time, Dawson Rider, signing out.